I hadn't seen my mother's side of the family in almost 15 years, not because of distance, not because of arguments. They'd simply gone quiet, like a radio signal fading into static. Phone calls rang forever, letters came back unopened, stamped "Return to sender." My mother told me it was better not to dig up old things. Some roots, she said, rot when exposed to air. So when my aunt appeared at my apartment door one evening, standing too straight, smiling too carefully, I knew something bad had already decided to happen. She didn't hug me, didn't ask how I'd been. She handed me an envelope. It was already open. The paper inside smelled faintly of iron and dust. "You're old enough now," she said. Inside was one sentence written in careful, trembling handwriting. "You're expected at the reunion." No address, no directions, just a date and a time that felt more like a deadline. The farmhouse sat miles from the nearest town, crouched in a place where the trees leaned inward, choking out the sky. When I stepped out of my car, the air felt thick, wet, heavy with the smell of earth and old blood. Before I reached the door, my uncle stepped in front of me, blocking the way like a bouncer at the end of the world. "There are rules," he said calmly, like he'd said it 1,000 times before. He handed me a folded piece of paper. "Don't leave before sunset. Eat what you are served. Do not ask about missing relatives. If your name is called, stand." I laughed at the last one. It sounded childish, like a game. My uncle didn't smile. His eyes flicked past me toward the trees, like something was listening. Inside, the house was packed wall to wall with relatives I barely recognized. Their faces were familiar in the way dreams are familiar. Close, but wrong. Conversation stayed low and polite, never straying from weather or food. The walls were covered in framed reunion photos stretching back decades. Everyone smiled in every picture. In every photo, one person was circled in thick red ink. At dinner, no one spoke. The food was rich, greasy, and heavy. It sat in my stomach like wet cement, making my arms feel numb, my head swim. When dessert plates were cleared, my grandmother stood and rang a small brass bell. The sound cut through the room, sharp and brittle like breaking bone. She began reading names. Each time a name was spoken, the person stood, face pale but obedient, and walked down the hallway toward a door that swallowed them whole. No screams, no questions, just the soft click of the door closing. When my cousin stood, I leaned toward my mother and whispered, "Where are they going?" Her fingers dug into my wrist so hard I felt bone grind against bone. "Don't," she hissed. "Please, don't make it worse." Then my grandmother read my name. The room exhaled, not with fear, with relief. I stood because the rules told me to. At the end of the hallway was a small room lit by candles stuck into human bones. The floor was sticky. A book lay open on a table, its pages thick and yellowed. My name was already written inside, carved deep enough to tear the paper. They didn't threaten me. They explained. Every reunion needed a reason, a payment. Someone had to stay behind so the rest could leave unchanged. Someone had to be broken so the family could remain whole. This year, I was the reason. I married into my wife's family without ever meeting all of them at once. There was always an excuse. Someone was sick, someone had died. The timing was never right. I didn't think much of it until the reunion invitation arrived and my wife went very, very quiet. "Just follow the rules," she said, "no matter what." The lodge sat beside a lake so still it looked dead. The water reflected the sky perfectly, like it was copying the world above, waiting to replace it. As soon as we arrived, her father pressed a card into my hand. "Don't enter the water alone. Don't stay awake past midnight. If you hear singing, don't follow it. If you're chosen, accept it. I laughed. Nervous laughter. No one else did. That night, the singing started. Soft, sweet. A sound that curled around your thoughts and squeezed. Doors creaked open as people stepped outside barefoot, eyes glazed, walking toward the lake like sleepwalkers, answering a call they'd heard their whole lives. I shook my wife awake. She looked at me with tears streaking down her face. I hoped it wouldn't be you, she whispered. At breakfast, one chair was empty. The wood beneath it was wet, as if something had been dragged away. No one mentioned it. They raised their glasses instead. To tradition, someone said. To continuity, another added. Later, they told me the truth. The family was bound to something beneath the lake. Something old, something patient. Every few years, it demanded a witness. Someone from outside the bloodline. Someone who would stay behind, body and soul, so the rest could leave untouched. Someone to be the reason. My wife kissed my forehead. Her lips were cold. Thank you for understanding, she said. The reunion ends tomorrow. I can hear the singing now. I'm not invited to leave.